Hello, good morning and welcome to News Desk on your Joy News channel here on Multi TV. Coming up, Ashanti Regional Security Council to meet following threats by residents of Awogo to forcefully flush out herdsmen in the town. Also ahead, Electoral Commission rubbishes Interior Ministry's claims technology company STL was responsible for transmitting electoral results in 2012. We're bringing you a lot more on this very one. There'll be a conversation we'll be having on this very issue in a short while. And we'll also have a conversation on alleged occult acts in some senior high schools in the country. We have details of those stories plus lots more, including business and sports, coming up in the next hour here on News Desk. Stay with us. My name is Kwabena Chenchen. Many thanks for joining us here on News Desk. Let's start off with this very issue in the Volta region, where we are told that the Volta Region House of Chiefs has announced plans for the construction of mini hydro dams in the region to help shore up the country's energy needs. President of the House of Chiefs, Togbe Afede, said the 9 dams to be constructed at various locations in the region will be engineered by energy experts from Italy. He was addressing his colleague chiefs at their first general meeting for 2016.
Togbe Apeda the 16th said final preparations are ongoing for the construction of the plants to commence, adding a team of experts from Italy would visit the region to complete feasibility studies on the 9 selected sites. Togbe Afede, who is also the Agbogbo Mafia of the Anglon State, expressed disappointment in the delay of the development of an experimental 100-acre rice farm, which is a deal between the Volta region and the Ningxia province in China. The delay is as a result of unavailability of lands in the designated areas in and around Apipe.
9 locations that were identified for the possible construction of mini hydro power plants. The sites include River Basin 1 and 2, Amansu, Menusu, Bogwe, waterfalls, legal property, and also the Apipe Dam. These are 9 sites that we have talked already. This house, through the Volta Regional Agency, signed an MOU with the Ningxia government and the residency here in Ho. Ningxia government was put by the governor himself, and the MOU was for the development of an experimental 100-acre rice farm.
He also appealed to the chiefs in the region to be neutral and not engage in party politics, but give all political parties equal audience as the country heads to the polls in November. He, however, decried renewed chieftaincy clashes as severe in the Kwando district and entreated the 2 factions to dialogue to settle their differences for peace to prevail in the region.
We all are in a very important election year. The big one, of course, is elections. Standing committee would like me to remind all of you about this and to remind us that as chiefs we have to uphold our neutrality in national elections. As chiefs, we should grant access to all political parties who like the basic test or our abilities. As chiefs, again, we have to be very neutral and facilitate all of these cases by all political parties. So sad for us to hear about the recent eruption of violence in the Soviet dispute that is left from president. I have spoken with the minister of the region, and I know a lot is being done to ensure peace in the Soviet
house also witnessed the induction of Nana Obombo Siwura Lupurua II, Paramount Chief of Achode Traditional Area in Nkwanta South District, to the house. He took the official oath, the oath of membership and secrecy, administered by Justice Nicholas Charles Agbevo, supervising High Court Judge of Ho. 41-year-old Nana Obombo is an educationist, known in private life as Isaac Kofi Siwura. Speaking to the media after his swearing in, Nana Obombo promised to contribute his quota to the betterment of his area and the region as a whole. Fred Kwame Sari's report.
Well, to some other stories, and I'm sure you do know that occultism, we are told, has now become a problem in senior high schools. That's according to the Ghana Education Service, which is even now blaming the situation on poor parenting. You know, there were reports of some students of the Wesley Girls Senior High School who are said to have allegedly engaged in some occult aspect. Well, there's a lot more happening as far as that very issue is concerned, because we do know now that yesterday the headmistress of the school was in Accra and was in a meeting with the authorities at the Ghana Education Service. We also do know that this morning as well, there's likely to be a meeting also on this very same issue. But the fact needs to be emphasized, however, that the school has come out to deny all those allegations over the period. But there's a lot more we need to discuss on this very issue. But here on the AM show earlier today, my colleague Mamavio Usoboji engaged a couple of people who had quite a number of things to share on this very issue. Let's take a listen to what happened on the AM show.
Occultism, it's not just one branded occultism, but we always see it as just one. But it involves a lot. But the major thing you'll be taught, depending on the branch of occultism you would get involved is to get to know the hidden. So things that are hidden, you know them. That things ordinary people can't see, ordinary people can't do, you do them because it's hidden. So you are being elevated to a certain stage that you know what is hidden. So basically, that is what you taught, that you know the hidden things. It's very real, it's really happening. And it starts from the secondary schools, I must be frank. That is where it really starts. And it's very dangerous for somebody to start from that part. Because if you're starting from there, it's going to take a long for you to come out. If you're starting from there and you come out from there, then that means it's something else. And you see, it's because, it's the future leaders are almost, so everybody wants to start somewhere. If you really want to go somewhere, as in quote, it's been said, you have to go through your secondary school and stuff. So then they catch you young there, they try to teach you so many things from there. So you become very interested. Everybody in secondary school, let me say, would want to be a better man or a better woman in the future.
You want to pass your exams,
yes.
You want to be the brilliant.
Yes. Want to be from a Christian home, no. Your parents can be praying or be the pastors they are. But what about you, the child? I wanted a kind of power, I wanted to be recognized. I wanted to be there. I always wanted to be there, wanted to be at the top. That if things that everybody should see, I'm there. I wanted power to rule. I wanted to be up there. I wanted to be recognized. Among my peers, I wanted to be the head. And I always use, like our Bible says, it's good to be the head and never the tail. So I always wanted to be there.
So that was Frederick Bauma Ahinkra. He's a gentleman who once practiced occultism while he was in the senior high school, and he's been sharing some experiences on the AM show this morning, and you just heard him there in an interview with my colleague Mamavio Usoboji. But like I said, let's try and have a conversation about this very issue, and joining me over the phone lines now is the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Education Service, Reverend Jonathan Bette, who is joining us with a lot more perspective on this issue. Reverend, good morning. Many thanks for your time on News Desk this morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And we are very grateful for your time this morning. So,
nice speaking to you.
This issue of occultism in schools, we do know, or well, we are told that you have been engaging with the headmistress of the Wesley Girls Senior High School. What exactly have you been seeking to find out?
Well, thank you very much. Yesterday, around about 3 to 4 o'clock in the evening, the headmistress of Wesley Girls came to the ministry or the Ghana Education Service to meet my Director General, but could not get him. My director was in another all-important meeting. I heard tete-a-tete meeting with the woman. She narrated the story, which is far different from your reportage or what your media houses are reporting about the Wesley girls. The story is different.
Hello, Reverend.
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying the headmistress of the school has denied all those allegations that have been leveled against her school. And
yeah, the practice of occultism in the school. If an individual is reading a book, it's a different thing. The practice, like having an association or a group in the school, is not true.
Okay.
According to her, it's not true.
Okay, so if I understand what you're saying correctly, that it does suggest, however, that there are some students there who do practice such things, but there's no recognized body per se in the school. There isn't really an association of some sorts that handles such things in the school.
That is a fact that we don't have, according to her, they don't have any association or group, religious group in that school as such. And we, as Ghana Education Studies, don't encourage any society, any group of people to practice anything of that sort in our schools. Public schools are never allowed. These children who are under 18 are never and will never be allowed to practice whatever that pleases them.
Reverend, I don't know whether this falls under religion in any way, but to the best of my knowledge, you cannot prevent anyone from...
My brother,
yes, sir.
Let me come in. Freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of religion does not work so much as far as little children are concerned.
You are speaking of little children. This is a senior high school. These are teenagers.
Senior high school, the students are below 18 years. And above that, if they are eligible to vote, then we allow them to do whatever they like. So
you're saying just a second, Reverend. So you're saying if I'm Muslim and I attend a Christian school and because I'm less than 18, I can't pray to Allah because of that? Is that what you're saying?
That is not it. What I'm trying to say is that Christianity is a recognized association. Muslim or Islamic is also recognized. Are you telling me that occultic or occultism is also an association, a religious organization approved by the law of this state, that it could be practiced in any part of the country or in any organization?
Reverend, I'm a bit confused at this point.
Yeah, what I'm just trying to tell you is that the little children who are below 18 years will not be allowed to practice any religion apart from Islamic and Christian.
Why so? Why such a directive by the GES? If I'm Shinto or Buddhist, why would the educational system want to force me to?
They are not on their own to do whatever pleases them. They've been handed over to the school or school authorities or Ghana Education Service to mold them, to train them, to bring them up.
Okay.
In the fear of God. And these little children should not be allowed to do whatever pleases them. When we begin to allow our little children, do you allow your child in your home or your dear brother in your home to do whatever pleases him in the house, which is not the educational institution? No, you don't. Your parents don't they don't allow them to do that.
Okay. So
how can Ghana Education Service allow little children to be on their own to practice whatever that? Then it means that there's no discipline in the school.
Okay, Reverend, just a quick word. I'm sorry I'm dragging this very issue, but just a quick word here. So I just want to find out how this constitutes indiscipline. For instance, if I grew up in a family of Shintos or Buddhists, and that's all I know my whole life, and I go to the senior high school, a Christian senior high school for that matter, and I'm told that because I'm in a Christian senior high school, I can't practice my Shinto, all because it's a Christian school. And again, if I forced to do so, you tell me it's disrespectful, or I'm really finding it difficult reconciling the situation here.
You don't have to. If you are a true Christian and you are a good citizen, you don't have to be upset about this issue. I am saying that, or I'm asking you whether the occultism or occultic practice is a registered or a well-organized religion in our schools or in the country? Yes or no? Are they registered? Have they registered their presence in the school to be practiced? Then they have to go through a series of interventions before they are allowed to do that.
Reverend, one would say you're making a morality. One would say you're making a morality argument here, really. And if it's about morals, one would say that there's a lot more emphasis we need to play on other things. We need to place on other things rather than just morals.
You are saying that it's no more what?
I'm just saying that one would say that you are making the conversation about morals. The argument you're making has to do with morals, and that people need to pick up certain morals. And if really that's the situation, then one would say there's a lot more to be desired, because there are other areas we need to focus a lot more attention on. Would that be a fair assessment?
It's a fair assessment. Let me tell you. That's a fair assessment. Ghana Education Service, in our schools, we have rules and regulations.
I see.
And children who are placed under our leadership to be trained and to be molded, to be educated, must follow a certain norm. When they are out of our leadership, they are candidates and they're gone out of the school, they are allowed to do whatever that pleases them. We must not allow this society to be confronted by everything. We must not allow everything to go on in our institution.
Right.
If we are building a very good society as a Ghana,
right,
as a country.
Okay. So, Reverend, speaking of the issue, the specific issue of Wesley Girls High School, you just told us a brief while ago that the headmistress did say that, well, there are a few students who might be engaged in such acts, but there isn't really an association of the sort, like I mentioned earlier. So, what is to happen to these students who are said to have engaged in these acts?
They have collected the books from them. They were not cut or they were not caught in the practice. According to the headmistress, they were not caught in the practice praying, doing anything like lesbianism, whatever. No. The reportage is far from what is pertaining in the school. The books were taken away, and I have the book from the headmistress right with me here. The book, they entitled the book, The Ministry of Angels and How to Activate Them. And the second one is How to Catch God's Attention. Different doctrine altogether. So the headmistress lay hand. The school, is a mission school. They lay hand on the book and handed over the book to the chaplaincy and then the Methodist diocese.
So what is being done to these students now? Where are they? What are they doing?
Well,
and are they going to receive any?
According to the headmistress, she gathered them and counseled them, and she spoke to them about the effect of all these things, and the children admitted that those things will never be found holding such material again. They were not practicing that. As you say, they said they won't practice again. They were just reading a novel. They were just reading a book. That's all. They are children. They are curious to lay hand on anything they wish for an information. So it's not every information that is good for us. So we're taking that book from them, and we're praying that it will not spread, it will not continue. Okay. And wherever we get those materials, we will lay hand on them.
All right. So, and again, Reverend, I'm glad you are just about drawing a conclusion to this very issue, but I just want to find out, this is not really a peculiar situation. We are told that in quite a number of senior high schools in the country, there are pockets of such things that do exist. For instance, is the GES considering any measure to ensure that these students don't toe such a line?
Thank you very much. How many schools are practicing that?
I'm just saying, I may not be able to give you the exact numbers, but we all do know that...
I also may not be able to tell you that 100 schools, 500 or 200 or 10 schools. I'm telling you that what is pertaining in our schools, we are trying to... We've met the headmasters and the headmistresses. We've spoken with them. We discussed issues, how best we can address this issue to remove them from the knowledge of our children. We're trying, and spiritually too, we are praying. I'm telling you, we are praying for the whole nation, praying for our children.
Prayers, did he say?
Is that?
Did he say prayers?
Prayers can do everything. Counseling is there. Prayers is there. One-on-one talking, counseling, education is there. we have all forms of education that we can apply to make sure that this does not continue. And we are also appealing to our parents also as stakeholders, and media houses also as stakeholders to help us get this money.
Right.
It is not only teachers.
Okay.
Children leave their houses to school. Who will know whether they are practicing with their parents or whoever? If they are not practicing with their parents, it means that it's not good for them. That is why their parents are not part of these practices or activities. So we are appealing to parents also to help us train these children morally.
Okay. Reverend, many thanks for your time on News Desk this morning. We really do appreciate your time. And that was Reverend Jonathan Bette, and he's the public relations officer of the Ministry of Education. He's saying that, well, he needs all of us to pray for the students so that they do not indulge in acts alleged to be occultic in nature. So I'm sure if you can pray, please do. So I'll try as much as possible to do so if I also can. But let's take a break here on News Desk. When we come back, we'll bring you a lot more conversations, particularly on that issue of voter registration exercises and election in general, because we do know that there have been a number of concerns being raised by the opposition MPP and the Let My Vote Count Alliance as pertains to the transmission of electoral results and which company does what. The EC has finally broken its silence. We'll bring you a lot more details. Stay with us.